Liverpool fans were wrong. Well, at least some Liverpool fans were wrong. Going into that League Cup semi-final, there was almost a bit of an atmosphere in the Liverpool fan base, a little bit nervous. Some fans were nervous, some fans were overly confident, and some fans just trust their club. But a lot of Liverpool fans were wrong about this season because you think back to both transfer windows. They've only brought in Georgi Mamardashvili, who's still on loan in La Liga, and Federico Chiesa. And right now, they're favourites for the League Cup, the Premier League, the Champions League, and the FA Cup. Now, just let that sink in. Imagine if Liverpool this season, I think, as an absolute bare minimum, they will win 2 trophies. I think the Premier League it's theirs to lose. They're in the League Cup final, but a lot of Liverpool fans will say we've got bigger fish to fry. For instance, if I said you would lose that Everton game, or you would have lost to Tottenham in the semi-final, I think a lot of Liverpool fans are thinking, do you know what? The Premier League is the holy grail. That is our bread and butter. They would have taken the 3 points against Everton. They're that good, they could still quite easily do both. You know, that's how good they are. But what I mean when I say Liverpool fans were wrong is, at the start of the season, there was a lot of fans upset Jurgen's gone, questioning, is Arne the right man? Is he good enough to lead this team to major honours, to silverware? And in the background, while all this has been going on, Trent's contract situation is up in the air, Van Dijk's contract situation is up in the air, and Mohamed Salah's contract situation is up in the air. But with all that going on, they're in the final, they're top of the Premier League, they're top of the Champions League, and they're still in the FA Cup. And that deserves a round of applause. So fair play to Liverpool. A lot of your fans are wrong. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. But I want to talk about why Liverpool are actually so good. This season, I want to talk about 3 players. And I want to stay away from Trent, Van Dijk, and Salah. The 3 players I want to talk about, for me right now, is the best midfielder. I'm happy to say the best midfielder in Europe. Ryan Gravenberch, or Gravenberch. I always get told if I'm saying his name wrong. But for me right now, he is the best midfielder in Europe. He has absolutely everything. I see Jamie Carragher compare him to a Patrick Vieira. And I said this to the boys when I was on Coppish the other day, previewing this game. This is the midfield they played against us. Gravenberch does this thing, right, where the ball comes into him at pace, and it's like one touch on the turn while he's being pressed, and he always manages to get away from the midfielder. That little thing there, that small detail in his game, I don't see no other midfielder doing that. He's press resistant. He's got good passing range. He's a good tackler. He's got an engine. He can get up and down. And not only that, the availability of him. He's always available. Always available. Like, I don't think he's been injured. Or touch wood, I don't wish an injury on anyone, but I don't think he's been injured this season. Another player who has really stepped up in the last, I'd say, 10 games, Szoboszlai. He doesn't get nowhere near as much props in the Liverpool fan base. And I think, the Salahs, the Trents, the Van Dijks, the Alissons always get enough props. But Cody Gakpo as well. Cody Gakpo, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai, for me, Liverpool fans should be screaming their names from the rooftops. Ryan Gravenberch, for me, best midfielder in the league, bar none, this season. Szoboszlai has really stepped up in the last 10 or 12 games. Every single game we played against him this season, he has been a menace. And I don't think he gets nowhere near the level of props that he deserves. And the reason I want to talk about Szoboszlai is because I wasn't his biggest fan. And I said last season, there needs to be more output from him. Last season, 33 games in the Premier League, 3 goals and 2 assists. And this season, his output throughout the whole season hasn't been, I would say, like a top number 10. But he adds a lot more than just GA to his game. He leads the press. He's very, very good at that. His passing in the final third is very, very good. His GA could be better, but like Gravenberch, available all the time. And it adds something different to that midfield. If they play, I think their best midfield is Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai. But the fact that Arne Slot can throw in a Curtis Jones just kind of changes up in terms of you never really know what that midfield's going to be. You've got a good idea, but they change it at the last minute. Harvey Elliott can also go in that 10 as well. He's another really good player. But in terms of Szoboszlai this season, he's got 1 goal in 2 games in the League Cup. He's got 5 GA in 21 in the Premier League, and he's got 2 GA in 6 in the Champions League. So his numbers are getting better. But the one I think out of the 3, I think Liverpool fans now are really starting to see him at his best. And I want to talk about Cody Gakpo. For me, this season, he was one of the best wingers in the Premier League, bar none. And I honestly think now he has cemented that position out on the left-hand side under Arne Slot. Wasn't getting a huge amount of game time under Jurgen Klopp. This season, 5 games in the League Cup, 5 goals and 1 assist. In the Premier League, 23 games, 8 goals and 3 assists. So 11 GA in 23. And he's got 4 GA in 7 in the Champions League. So he's played 35 games this season, which is nuts to think about. And he's got, 8, 11, 16 goals and 5 assists. So he's got 21 assists in 35. That is very good for a guy that I would say, I don't think he started every single game this season, but that is a very, very good return. In terms of his minutes this season, he's played 1,300 minutes in the Premier League, and he's got 11 GA. 16 goals in 35 games with 5 assists is very, very, very good. And he's played left wing majority of those times. So he's played 3 games as a centre forward for Liverpool this season. But I think they're onto something this season, Liverpool. I think they're going to win the Premier League. I think they'll win. As much as I would like to see Newcastle win it because their fans have waited so long to see major honours, if they go and win that game in hand against Everton, which I think is it next week or the week after, it is absolutely huge for them. 9 points we could be talking about, a 9-point gap over Arsenal. Unfortunately, for Arsenal, Gabriel Martinelli now is apparently out for around 6 to 7 weeks, according to reports. And the difference I said was, if Arsenal don't bring in a forward, and you look at this firepower Liverpool have got, Núñez bags a couple of late goals against Brentford. Gakpo bags a couple of goals against Ipswich. Mohamed Salah doing Mohamed Salah things, 40 GA already this season. Trent, when he comes out, Conor Bradley comes in. It's the same level of performance. Same with Robertson and Tsimikas. Same as if Szoboszlai doesn't play and Harvey Elliott comes in. Or if McAllister doesn't play, Curtis Jones come in. Or if Luis Diaz doesn't play and Núñez comes in. It's the same level of results. They're top of the Premier League. They're in the League Cup final. They could be 9 points clear after 24 games. 56 goals. It's just stupidly good. 1 defeat in 23 games. More wins than anyone else. Less goals conceded than anyone else. In the Champions League, flying. And you look at the fixtures they've got coming up, right? They've got past these hard away games, right? They had Bournemouth and Forest and Brentford, really, really tough. They got past it all. And you look at their next 8 games. Look, I'm not going to come out here and say Liverpool are going to win all 8 because they have got some tough games in there. Villa Park, the Etihad, and St James's. But I think Liverpool go into all of these games as favourite. I think they will comfortably dispatch of Plymouth Argyle tomorrow. No stress. They will comfortably dispatch of them. And then Wednesday the 12th. So that's, next Wednesday is where they play their game in hand. And if they go out in the Merseyside derby and get the 3 points, that 9-point gap is, for me, is too big of a gap to, for Arsenal to somehow, claw back. Wolves at home, 3 points. Villa away, 3 points. The next 2 games are difficult, but I think they've got more than enough to go and beat City at the Etihad. Newcastle, they've got a good record against Newcastle. Southampton and Everton. And you look at their last, look at it. That Arsenal game is huge in May. It's absolutely huge. Off the back of Chelsea, but they might have the league title done by then. They'll beat us again because they've already beaten us twice this season. So, I just don't see where they're slowing down. Fair play to Arne Slot. Fair play to that midfield. You know, if they pin those 3 guys down to new contracts, add a few players in the summer, there's no reason why they can't go and win the Premier League next season. I'm not saying Liverpool are going to dominate for years to come, but right now, the way they're playing, everyone understands what the manager wants. Everyone understands the task at hand. Everyone understands what the goal is. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. I am out.